Hi everybody, this is Kara Nicole, and we're here this week for Nerds of the Round Table, or I guess Nerds of the Rectangle, at Pop Culture Paradise in Tempe, Arizona. Owner of Pop Culture Paradise, Marco. Say
Hey
what's
everybody.
up, Marco.
Hey, what's up?
And we have our special guest here, Brian Augustin.
How you doing?
Brian, give us a 2-second plug. Who are you? You're sort of a big deal, right?
30 years in the business. I was an editor at DC for many years, a writer to this day. Gotham by Gaslight, the first DC Elseworlds. Worked on Flash for something like 16 years.
Only 16?
One capacity or another.
Yeah, that's why he's only
Editing,
sort of a
writing.
big deal.
Still working in comics, still working in writing. Also doing a weekly podcast out of Gotham City Comics and Coffee called The Comic Book Insider. Once a week with an audience, lots of guests, lots of features.
Can I come?
Findable. I invite you to drop in anytime. I invite everyone to drop into the shop every Monday night after 6 p.m.
Can we delete that part out or no?
No, we cannot.
Okay, my bad.
Hi,
Tom. Hi, Miguel.
We even invite Marco.
Yeah, I'm there.
Marco, if you come, I will personally buy you a coffee,
Done.
but only because they're half price.
I'll be there actually then.
That's right, half-price drinks.
Now that I know that, I like it.
Okay, well, this week we've got some new interesting comics. We're going to start with Green Wake. Now, this I've never seen before, and it is from Image Comics. It's number 10. The last comic in the series, Volume 1 of the trade, has already come out. I definitely recommend that if you are going to read Green Wake, sure you can come in and buy this one, but if you haven't read the other ones, just get the trades. Green Wake is sort of a purgatory-themed place. Guys with creepy eyeballs, no one seems to know why. The art, I really like. There's some very gory stuff in here. People getting eaten, but it's not exactly a zombie thing. It's like a detective, and he dies, and he goes to Green Wake, and then he comes back, and he's looking for stuff, and only reading this one comic, I'm definitely interested in starting on with the trades and finding out where it goes, but I'm thinking I'm not going to want to read this for 20 years. So, that's my opinion. Read it now, enjoy it for what it is, and move on. Anything, Marco?
Green Wake's pretty cool. It's been consistent with its pull list. You have boxes go up and down, and who's reading and who's not. And this one's always been consistent for us. We get a lot of people that want to read the trade paperback. It's definitely very twisted. If you're like into horror stuff, This is what you want to read. I firmly believe it's about Kermit the Frog going freaking psycho, because this spot right there, man.
You know what, Marco?
That is totally
it's
Kermit the
not
Frog.
easy being green.
Think about
okay?
it. It's Green Wake. It's about the waking of Kermit the Frog and his homicidal tendencies. That's what it is. So if you like Kermit the Frog, and I sure hope we don't get sued for that.
Disney owns them. They hardly... never mind.
I'm dead.
My company has no money.
Green Wake,
They'll
good
get
stuff.
nothing.
Brian, what do you think?
Well, I've discovered it the same as you have, Kara, just today, and it's a striking and interesting looking book. I like things that go deep into the metaphysical. It challenges the reader quite a lot. I'm not as big a fan of the art. I find the art to be sort of eccentric on purpose in places, I think.
Okay.
Part of the horror, man.
I know it is. No, it certainly adds to the texture of the book. I just find it a little bit pretentious.
All
Got
right.
it.
I'll give it to you. Okay.
So, two
So-
X's and one not X?
Mine was a thumb sideways.
I say read the trade. That's my
I
recommendation.
definitely
say go
start with
Kermit.
the trade.
Kill them all.
That's
Go
right.
for the trade. Now, Marco, you chose.
No
What did you
frogs
choose?
were hurt in the taping of today's segment.
I went with the preview book because I'm a cheap ass. It's a free preview book, Avengers vs. X-Men today.
It's free?
That is absolutely free.
Now you had to pay for it, though, didn't you?
Good stuff. Yeah, I paid for it. That's a secret. It's 'cause we love you guys. So this is a preview book for the upcoming Mega Smash Avengers vs. X-Men. Basically, this is for everybody that has complained that all the crossovers don't have good enough battles. This is going to be for you guys. I mean, you've got the Avengers with Red Hulk, Captain America, Spider-Man going up against Wolverine and the X-Men, or Cyclops' team and Uncanny X. X-Men, and really the rundown is the Phoenix Force is coming back. Yeah. And the X-Men want it because, hey, they can do things with it, and the Avengers don't want it because they could destroy the world, and fighting ensues. Pretty awesome.
Now, I like how they've laid out the beginning. You do have your Avengers, and you have your X-Men, and you have, you know, your Secret Avengers. So everyone's lined out in their teams. So it kind of at least...
It's very
it sets
HBO
you up.
boxing style. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
very. This is the height and the weight and the reach, and it's
I was
going to be
going to
awesome.
say it looked a little like March Madness
That's
charts
exactly
as
it.
well.
Exactly. Well, it's free. Come down to PCP, get your copy, get caught up so you know where to go from here. We've got the movie coming out very soon.
Yep. That's it.
Brian,
Are
thoughts,
we
opinions?
I think anytime you need to mix it up, you should bang your biggest stars against each other.
Yeah, man.
They don't get bigger than X and A, and that's a good thing. And some of the art on there looks tremendous. Frank Cho doing an actual superhero comic book is revelation time. I think it's good looking overall.
Frank Cho's doing it?
Frank Cho's doing one of the titles, at least in the preview.
You know, I bought a
And-
pen from him in Albuquerque. You flip it over, and the panties fall off the girl.
So
That's
many
actually
women have
totally
that
cool.
have that same
Totally
story.
cool. I bought it for eBay.
That makes sense. One more thing on this here is for fans of your favorite comic book shop, each shop had to choose whether they were an Avengers shop or an X-Men shop, and therefore would only get the variants for each one. So we decided to go X-Men, woo, and getting the variants for
really?
the X-Men only. So if you want Avengers variants, sorry, we won't have them, but we will have the main books. Everything else stays the same except for the variants from the shops.
I think we'll have those at Gotham City Comics and Coffee.
Can we,
Well,
can
I'm
we
sorry,
delete
you
that?
had to. I'm sorry you had to choose. All right.
So you can't handicap this then.
No,
You
that's it.
can't be taking bets.
Oh, well. All right, Brian. What do you got? What'd you choose?
Well, I have this very little known comic. It's only the 680th issue of The Amazing Spider-Man.
I'm sorry. Who?
The Amazing Spider-Man, not the Avenging Spider-Man, not the Astonishing Spider-Man, not the Arizona Spider-Man, but the Amazing Spider-Man.
Okay.
The original, and still, as far as I can tell, still the original.
Peter Parker.
That's it.
Peter Parker,
No clones in
red
that
and
book.
blue suits, the whole bit. What's great about the book, and the reason I mentioned it, is that Dan Slott, the writer, is doing some of the best Spider-Man in a long, long time. He's working with Chris Yost on the story. The art is a lot of fun too. It's a fellow named Giuseppe Camuncoli. I don't know his work, but he does a great job. The best news on the art, though, is it's the return of Klaus Janson, longtime star inker for Marvel. Frank Miller's inker on Daredevil, all the way back to the 70s, and still one of the best inkers in the business. So it's a great-looking book. Dan Slott and Chris Yost are writing a terrific Spider-Man. Probably the closest to classic Spider-Man we've seen in years. So it's a great comic, and I like it a lot.
And he's in space.
In space,
That's right, he is,
fighting
and he's in space. You can see right on the cover. He's wearing his NASA suit, or however we say that. However, he is working for, what's the name of that outfit? The Project? I can't remember. But they were just attacked. They were just attacked by an army of giant bugs. So you know that
Army
sets
of
up
giant
for
bugs
epic.
with
Spidey,
Spider-Man.
Epic.
Oh.
Get it?
Now, it's hard to go after Brian when discussing the ins and outs of a comic book. Like, I don't know anything about Giuseppe Kamikaze other than he did a damn good job with Pinocchio. But Amazing Spider-Man has been totally consistent here in the store again. You got 30-plus fans of it, and what's cool about Amazing being consistent is that it helps with the other titles, Avenging Spider-Man, and particularly Avenging Spider-Man, but since he's leaked over into the Fantastic Four and the Avengers, people will follow him there. So it's
I
been
don't
pretty cool.
like him in the Fantastic Four suit.
looks
It
pretty damn
looks
cool.
weird.
He's awesome looking, all
It's
white.
weird.
But are there just 4 of them when he's there?
I don't know. That's a good
No.
question. Yeah, because Johnny's still
No, he's back.
in the shooter. Oh,
We
he's
looked
back.
at it
Sorry.
last week, and he was back.
Ah,
In
what
the
do I know?
you said?
Shooter. Yes.
Shooter. In the
Yes.
shooter. Very
Sorry,
good.
kids.
All right, last but not least, I saw this and I thought, was this not the cutest damn thing? Tiny Titans. Looks like it was drawn with a crayon.
Yes, it
This
does.
is awesome.
May have been.
Now, I think that this is fantastic. It was a great read, something that children could really enjoy, but I was really surprised to find out from Marco who actually buys this comic.
Manga folks, anime. That's about it.
Are they sober?
Yes. This is my attempt
No
to
paint
say
huffing?
that we have kid stuff in the store. So Tiny Titans is pretty cool. I'm sorry. I'm not going to bash it.
I can't bash it. It's adorable.
I think you'd have to say too that it has some appeal to adults in that it's certainly to DC fans because it seems very plugged in
You know,
to all the inside stuff about DC.
I was just about to
Yeah.
say that. I was just about to say that. In here, you know, you've got Superman references, you've got Batman references, Green Lantern references.
I mean,
You've got this
Clayface
whole
makes an
monologue of, you know, stuff that's just a very Dr. Seuss type of
It reminds me
section.
of Rocky and Bullwinkle too, in a degree. Very silly, but very
Yes.
sort of satirical as well.
Well, they go in the whole this whole mud thing, which I'm not going to
Clay,
get into.
actually.
No, they refer to it as mud.
Okay.
But
That's what they
somewhere
do. They
here-
do their kid names in there because they're not quite adults, so they have what their
Clayface does look
their
like
names
animated
were
poo,
before they
however.
become adults.
Exactly, but they bring up in here. What did they say? They're like, "Why is Superman wearing a belt?" And, you know, I actually brought that up
They're
last
parodying the
week.
52, yes.
But they are the fact that they talk about it and they you know discuss it. And I can't find it in here, but
Oh, that's cool. They got the Green Lanterns. That's pretty awesome.
yeah,
it's-
they
it's-
do.
It's aware of what DC is doing right this second and having fun with it.
Well, and I think it is a good way, even though the manga folks are buying it. I think it's a great way to get children involved in comics.
Absolutely.
Because we want them to grow up and become us.
And read comics, baby.
And
Read
satire
comics.
is always fun too because it engages more than one level of reading. So find
Definitely.
the inside jokes.
I also think this is good for girls and boys. This
Yes.
is not gender specific at all.
I think we need to be dealing with fandom as if it is always boys and girls, men and women.
There was something here you wanted to
Oh.
to show.
I think this is pretty cool. This is something that Valiant Comics, by the way, is coming back. Woot woot. They're doing something with the technology that we have available to us today. And what it is that they are actually making their comic book titles talk, which is so you put your phone, you scan this thing and put your phone up against the cover, and your favorite cover will talk to you.
Was from our homes. Romans killed my father.
But I can't make my phone turn sideways like that. See, it just
Butchered my
its
armies.
mouth all crooked.
That's awesome. I'm not sure what you said, but man, that is awesome.
Well, the parents were slaughtered by the Romans.
His
Well,
parents
there's
were,
more
was that
than
the
that,
right
but
one?
it got shut off.
Yeah.
That was like the Spartacus thing.
That's
So,
excellent.
anyways, we're looking for the really sexy Psylocke cover because I'm kind of wanting to talk with her. So hopefully that'll be the next one that they do. But pretty cool. People might be looking forward to that. Great way to bring back Exo Man of War.
Great. No, I think it's awesome, and thank you both for being here. Thank you, Marco, for letting us
Hey,
be in
absolutely.
your, in your
Anytime,
store.
guys.
I will be sure to barge in often.
You're most welcome.
And,
Anytime.
Thank you, Brian, for coming, and we'll definitely have to go see you at Gotham City on Monday nights from 6 to 9.
For the Comic Book Insider,
I'm sorry, the what?
Comic Book Insider,
Okay.
every Monday night,
Every Monday night?
podcast the following Friday.
What if you have the flu?
I will be there and
That's that pop
we'll have
culture land.
tissues off camera.
Awesome. Great. And thank you again, Marco,
Hey,
for Pop
absolutely,
Culture
guys.
Paradise.
For sure.
And by the way,
And,
let me warn
It's a
everybody
plug.
that here at Pop Culture Paradise, the owner eats nerds. I don't know if you have to be afraid, but
Lemon.
it's a fact. It's a fact. Marco eats nerds.
Marco Eats Nerds. I love it. We're going to post it all over your Facebook page.
That'll
That's
work.
how rumors start, and that would be bad.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for being here with us at Nerds of the Round Table, and we will see you next week. We've got some special guests here today. They only stopped in for a minute.
Semi-special.
Yeah.
Semi-special. I think they're pretty special. We got John Goff here from Image Comics, and tell us a little bit about what you work on.
Currently work on Spawn with Todd McFarlane. Help out with the writing and the plotting of the book.
Awesome. And your buddy over here that you're working with, tell us a little bit about him.
Jim is a local artist. He and I are working on a creator-owned book called Jack Rabbit, kind of a suspense thriller noir gig. Should be coming out for Phoenix Comic Con in May,
Definitely.
so he can speak more to that.
Definitely.
Yeah,
So,
no, we'll have it for Phoenix Comic Con. It's gonna be the full first issue, and it's awesome. So
5-issue miniseries.
Yeah.
First issue will be out at Comic Con.
Okay, now how long in between issues?
It should be monthly
Yeah.
by the time it comes out.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Okay.
why we're taking our time premiering it at Phoenix, and it'll have a monthly schedule from there. Physical print will be at shows and at local comic shops, and we're going to release it digitally.
Can I have a free copy?
Absolutely.
I'll give you one of mine.
Trade,
Awesome.
yeah, fair trade.
We'll trade.
Fair trade.
barter system was always a good.
Yes. Now today's Wednesday,
Yeah.
so tell us, what do you recommend to get this week to read?
Well, for me, number one, The Cape is a fantastic, fantastic book. If you're not reading it, you should. This is, I think, the last issue.
Yeah, it's 4 issues.
Yeah, it's a 4-issue thing, so it's been phenomenal. It's like one of the best reads you're probably gonna get. And then also, Orkstein comes out like once every 100 years, but the art is so super detailed and yeah, it's a crazy story. So
My top picks start with some Image titles. Chew, Walking Dead, obviously. They both continue to just knock it out of the park every month.
Now,
And then
Walking Dead just came out this week.
Yep.
Chew came out last week.
Oh, did it?
I did.
Well, it's
and-
so good. You should pick up a copy
yes,
each
pick up
week.
a copy of last week's Chew. It was awesome.
no,
So
I've heard of this Walking Dead. I think right.
It's a little thing.
some
They got.
about
it-
They just started some small TV
I think
show.
some
on it.
zombie.
Is it a
thing.
TV show
Yeah.
too?
Yeah.
Like some guys that just
And then Marvel, they got Moon Knight. Bendis and believes Moon Knight has been fantastic.
I
I've
did
never
see
been
that.
a big fan of that character. They've done some pretty interesting things.
That's
with him, so.
exactly what I thought about that too. I'm like, oh, Moon Knight.
well, if two guys can do something with Moon Knight, maybe Bendis
Exactly.
will lead,
Well,
so.
thank you so much for joining us here at Pop Culture Paradise, and we'll see you at Phoenix Comic Con, and
Absolutely.
hopefully around at some other events.
We're always around at the
Always
local
around.
stores.
Yep.
Oh, well then I will be stalking you soon.
Oh, I like that.
Hey, it's Brian August, and I'm sort of a big deal, and that's a trademark, by the way. I just got through guesting with Kara Nicole on Nerds of the Round Table, and I'm going to urge you to watch this podcast every week. Kara goes around, talks to a lot of great people about what's coming up and what just came out in comics. She does a great job. She's a great friend of mine, so watch it, watch her, and watch out. Thanks a lot, folks.